Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 6 of Braindrizzle. I think it's 6. Well, this podcast is off to a great start.
Episode something. Episode pi?
Episode pi. Maybe episode tau, which is 2 pi.
Well, I mean, I thought the rule with pi is that you could have it any time you wanted, because you're a goddamn adult.
We are episode 6. We were supposed to have a guest, but time zones are a bitch.
Yep.
So, after this episode, we should hopefully have 2 episodes in a row that have a guest.
Oh, come on, don't promise them cake if you're not gonna deliver cake.
There'll be at least pie.
There will be at least pie. Come on, we weren't expecting such a rush, audience.
That's the plan. So, for now, you're stuck with just us. We're sorry. Really.
We're totally sorry about that. Have some pie?
That's the name of the episode, Have Some Pie.
Have some pie. 3.14, if you look at it in a mirror, it spells pie.
Really? Holy shit.
It does. Did I just blow your mind?
Yes. Oh, this is just gonna be so bad. Okay.
You know what else is bad?
What?
This podcast is so bad. This podcast is so bad. We should put this podcast on the wheel.
Oh god.
Yeah, I went there.
Don't look into that at all.
There will be a link in the description.
I control the links, and there will not be.
Okay, maybe I'll edit that out. Maybe.
Maybe. Wait, were you recording during the very first beginning bit?
The very, very first beginning bit?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that would have been funny to left in. We're arguing about the countdown. We edit all this out. So...
Okay, I will.
So let's get into the science news for this week.
Okay.
First story. You know, there's been sort of a few Bionic Eye related stories in the news.
Yeah.
But we have a new one.
Yeah?
Developed by the Israeli Institute of Technology, and it involves holograms.
Really?
Yeah, so basically the idea is that if you made the nerve cells just under the retina light sensitive through optogenetics, and if you don't know what that is, Google it. If you made those cells light sensitive, they wouldn't necessarily directly translate to having the same as the retina.
Ah, okay, I see what you mean. Distribution, for one.
Yeah. So the idea is you capture an image, translate it into a different visual image that the nerves could interpret, and then project that image as a hologram in the eyeball.
Dude.
So it's got everything. It's got holograms, gene therapy, bionic eyes.
That is some straight sci-fi shit right there. I like that. I like that a lot. That's really innovative. Like, directly so. A lot of these ideas that, when you hear about them, you're just kind of like, cool. Given enough time and incentive, maybe I could have thought of that. Might have taken a couple of years to think of it, but maybe I would have thought of that. I could see myself thinking that in a alternate dimension in which I'm actually a competent person. You know, like a lot of science stories, that's what comes to mind. But that one, I don't think I would have come up with that solution in a million years.
Yeah, I mean, like, with certain bionic eye ideas, it's all implementation, but the concept is pretty straightforward. It's like turn a visual signal into nerves.
Yeah.
How do we do that? I don't know. But it's like, okay, let's turn the nerve cells light sensitive, and then project the hologram in the eyeball.
Jesus. Oh, I just thought of something.
What?
You could technically project any hologram.
True.
They could watch movies. Put that with some sort of ear implant which vibrates the bones so that you hear music or you hear something but no one else does. Dude.
Then you'd have to be blind first. That'd be a pretty niche market.
It would be a pretty niche market, but it'd be a viable one. How clear would these images actually be? Like, if you were looking at...
I'm not sure. That's sort of fuzzy. They've chosen holograms because they have to be intense for the nerve cells to pick it up, because the nerve cells, even after the gene therapy, aren't as good at reacting to light, so the light has to be intense, but also precise.
Gotcha. I mean, it's just like, would somebody with one of these bionic eyes look staring at a television, for instance? Would the television easily translate into a hologram because it's a lit, two-dimensional screen? I mean, would that just look like a blur of colors?
They've only tested it on mice so far, so I'm not sure how accurate. I mean, all of it is going through a camera that first picks up the image. So theoretically, if it's a good quality, whatever the camera sees will get translated, I would assume.
But still, I mean, if it does have trouble with certain types of screens, or even just for yucks, man, just have it so that camera mode gets turned off and you get TV directly beamed into your head.
That'd be cool. It'd be cool if there was a way to, like, switch the entire functionality on and off.
Yes.
So you could be like, I have good vision, but if I do a certain thing, then the nerves become light sensitive, and then I can do the hologram shit.
Yeah, man.
No idea how that would work.
Like, seriously, if you could find a way for people so that people with sight, so they still see, people could just get it as an elective surgery and be like, fuck high definition. Oh man, that would take, like, virtual reality gaming to a whole new level. Can you imagine World of Warcraft with Bionic?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I guess you could do it in, like, a really specific spectrum that our eyes don't usually respond to. That way, when you're walking around, you don't pick it up. But if you plug in the holograms, it's really bright and intense and vivid.
Man, I want some of that now, seriously. I could be anywhere and watching me some Daria, just in my brain. Nobody even needs to know I'm watching TV.
Fuck Google Glass. Just have a hologram directly in your eyeball.
Yeah, and also, combine that with an implantable phone.
If you're doing it for a sighted person, you can just directly beam a visual image hologram into their eye.
Yes. So they're seeing a vision hologram in their eye, or even just like tiles, like the Google Glass, except it's inside their eye. And then they got like the implants, which make it so that they can hear stuff but nobody else can because it's actually inside their cranium. Then some kind of implantable phone, which the one implantable device. Man, I'm telling you, man, this is the iPhone 2000.
Just to be clear, the current system they're working on probably would be a glasses-type headset setup.
Can you imagine if, like, there ever became an iPhone that was implantable in the head?
That was a plot for a Futurama episode.
Damn you, groaning!
Yeah, it was called the iPhone, and they literally just, like, shove it into the eye.
Clever. What would happen if you were to jailbreak it?
I know, right? I don't know. I think you go blind.
Steve Jobs owns your vision.
Well, he's dead, so...
Well, we just brought up Futurama, so his head is in a jar.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of phones...
No, Steve Jobs becomes shareware and exists in the public consciousness, literally, as a wetware botnet.
That would be cool.
All hail.
I always wondered how, like, in Futurama they never explained how they actually do the head thing. Like, with people that have been dead for a really long time.
I know, there's just an ubiquitous part of...
And there's no new people.
Yeah, what's up with that? I guess it's just a plot device, but it became sort of one of those ubiquitous things.
I know, but still. Anyway, enough of that shenanigans, and let's talk about other shenanigans. An MIT startup made some progress at making transparent solar cells. So basically, these cells would collect energy from the ultraviolet and infrared, but let visible light pass through.
So basically, all of my windows could also be powering my fucking house. That is amazing.
Every transparent surface could be a solar panel. Right now, they're at 2% efficiency, and they hope to get to 10.
Got it. Is there a way that it could actually be reflective and weather insulative? Like the glass that will actually let in light but reflect away like the heat so that you can have...
Well, no, this is literally absorbing infrared.
Oh, that's what that means.
Yeah.
I'm a moron. Alright. So in other words, these would be the perfect weather windows, making my electricity super cheap in the summer.
Yes.
Theoretically, if I actually had central air.
It would depend on how large scale they were implemented, but they would definitely contribute to power, especially in, like, office buildings. And then, like, your iPhone screen, you walk around in the daylight, it gets charged.
Oh, hell yeah.
Some of the heat and light coming off the phone goes back into it to charge it.
Dude, it's awesome.
It's pretty awesome. Glasses that charge your bionic implants? Why not?
Yeah.
They're working on making it flexible, too. So even if it wasn't a transparent surface, you could still put a layer of this stuff on it.
Oh man, hipster geeks could walk around with big old hipster glasses, right? And be like, my hipster glasses are charging my MP3 player.
No, my Walkman.
My Walkman. Oh, yes. That's delicious.
My big hipster glasses are using technology that you've probably never heard of to charge my Walkman, playing music you've probably never heard of.
My original Walkman. Cassette tape Walkman.
Oh god. What have we done? We've created a monster.
Oh, that monster was asking for it.
Maybe we'll just trap all the hipsters in like a hologram virtual reality.
Except by the time that this technology actually gets implemented, we'll be on to the post-hipsters. So what we need to do is find a hipster, freeze the specimen, and then bring it out of cryogenics afterwards. I don't know, it's just like if we ever see a couple that looks like the couple off of Juno, freeze the embryo inside her so that we have a hipster specimen to actually show these glasses to see if they would work as intended in that particular scenario.
True.
So, speaking of frozen embryos, they...
you're taking segue classes from me, aren't you?
I am. I mean, it's just like, why else would I go that creepy, man? I was trying to do a segue. I mean, if you think about it,
You are kind of that creepy sometimes.
What? No! You're confusing me with Charles Manson.
That happens.
I am flipping you off right now.
Which is why we're not a video podcast.
We should be.
Oh, no. That'd be a terrible idea.
Remember when my picture on Skype was a Charles Manson picture?
No, but thank you for reminding me about that. See, that's why I confuse you with him so much.
Oh, God.
This podcast got weird really fast.
I know it did. I'm wondering whether I should leave that in or not, because that's just like... I can't believe I went there. That was...
No, fuck it, leave it in.
Dude, that was really fucked up. I was trying so hard for the segue, I just didn't even think about what the hell I was saying or the implications. Oh god, I just talked about carving a fetus out of someone.
Well, no, you said embryo.
Embryo, yeah.
Not much better.
Okay, so if the hipster couple was getting an abortion and decided to, basically donate...
This is not making it better.
And they decided to donate the embryo to science.
Still, this is not a better scenario.
Yeah, it is.
Not much.
What? It's like a woman, a young girl choosing to have an abortion versus a woman getting a fetus cut out of her by Charles Manson.
Yes.
No. I would not do that.
It was your idea to test the hipster sexes.
Yes, but I'm not gonna kill somebody to do it. Okay, anyway. The fuck is wrong with us?
You were talking about a less disturbing frozen fetus scenario.
Yes, a less disturbing frozen fetus scenario. So speaking of frozen fetuses, they froze a Klondike puppy fetus, and then they actually managed to thawed out implant it, and it was born.
So, is that what makes Klondike bars so delicious?
Yes.
Breaking news, Klondike bars contain frozen puppy fetuses.
Okay, he is a Beagle Labrador Retriever mix. Klondike is actually his name. I'm gonna call him the Klondike puppy because,
Okay.
I could tell you what I'd do for a Klondike puppy. I would murder a hipster couple for a Klondike puppy. Anyway.
We're professionals, people.
We know what we're doing.
Do not try these segues at home.
Let's make sure to interview our people before this podcast goes up.
Oh, God.
Okay, so basically, this is really good news for endangered species. They've actually been freezing like pieces of ovaries and stuff, which is very important for maintaining biodiversity of endangered species.
Now, I'm curious, how long was the embryo frozen?
Okay, let me see. Blah, 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 blah.
Doesn't that say?
I don't think it... No, it doesn't say how long.
Okay. Oh, well. Still, that is cool. In all seriousness, if we can return to any kind of normality, that is a cool development.
Dude, this dog is a Beagle Labrador mix. Labrador Retriever mix.
Is there a picture of it?
Yeah.
Is it adorable?
It is. It just looks very dog-like. Just very It's a dog. It's a mutt.
What do you mean it looks very dog-like? Of course it looks dog-like. It's a dog.
I don't know,
It looks dog-like.
There's just a picture, Jolie Jordan, the lady who owns the dog, there's just a picture of her with her dog. And you're just looking and it's just like, oh, lady and a dog. And then you find out that this dog is like a freak of science.
So, does it mention any specific plans to, like, implement it to an endangered species? Or is it just sort of open-ended?
Open-ended.
Ah.
One of the things they say that is, like, really good for is when having to, like, transfer little embryos. It's like if you're doing, like, in vitro, where you bring the sperm and egg together in a test tube, and then you get the embryo, and then you implant it in a surrogate mother.
Yeah.
Being able to freeze it can help with the whole coordination with the whole fertile time. Because, at least with dogs, the impression I get from the article is that it is a lot easier to implant an embryo and have pregnancy happen during certain parts of the dog's cycle. Only twice a year can you actually implant an embryo and have pregnancy be viable.
With humans?
No, with dogs.
Oh, with dogs.
Yeah, humans are once a month. Dogs are twice a year.
Oh. Did not know that. The more you know. Probably.
So being able to freeze the embryo to help with the whole coordination barrier in actually a lot of different endangered species animals. Of course, there's going to be a similar potential roadblock in helping to breed and sustain these species.
Yes, especially if you're, like, implanting in a related species and not, like, the exact species.
Like the North American red wolf.
They're red wolves? Isn't that just a fox?
No, these are wolves that are red.
See, my dead man's too good.
But seriously, several wolf species that would help with.
Speaking of wolves, forget segments, what else do you got?
What else I got? Oh, pessimism will make you live longer, apparently. Longer, healthier life.
Oh god.
Being negative makes you live longer. Really actually does add credence to that old adage, too mean to die. Because mean old people are bitter, and they're bitter because they never see the light side of life. You know, it really does kind of put a new spin onto that song at the end of Life of Brian. It was the optimist who was on the cross next to Brian.
That is true.
Hey, cheer up. It could be worse. Look where that got you.
That must be some major cosmic irony.
Seriously. It is.
But the problem is, what if that news makes the pessimist optimistic?
Shit. Anyway.
I mean, that's a crisis.
Of epic proportions.
That's just so funny. I find it so funny. Like, or maybe the pessimist will just focus on the fact that all his happy friends are dying sooner.
And it'll be like, ha ha, outlived you bitches!
Oh no, I'm happy! And then they die.
Reminds me of a joke that I heard back in the day. There's a bunch of people who were in the congregation of this old country church. And they were sitting there, and there was like this little old lady who was just turning 100, and the pastor was just kind of like, let's get old Auntie Edna to come up here. She is now a centurion, and we're gonna ask her about some of her old-timey wisdom regarding life and the Lord. Anyway, so she gets up there, and it's like a Q&A thing. Somebody asks, how did you manage to get to a point where you just had no social enemies in this town? You don't have any draw. And she leans over to the podium, by the mic, and she says, oh, I outlived the bitches.
Oh god, that's great.
Anyway, but yeah, they actually think that the pessimism might be causative in a way that is very direct and common sense. Basically, people who are pessimistic are more likely to take precautions.
I guess, I could see that.
Yeah, they're more likely to play it safe and take precautions, just take better care of themselves, and they just take care of their shit better because they're always
afraid.
Yeah. They just take less risks and whatnot. I mean, if you're optimistic about the future, you're just kind of like, fuck it, you know? I'm optimistic that everything will just be okay, so I guess I'll eat more burgers than I should, and BAM! Diabetes!
And then go down this alley, and then some crazy lady takes your embryo, you know, whatever.
Yeah, seriously. I'm just like, oh, come on. I'm optimistic that nobody will attack me in this dark alleyway because they'll see that I'm pregnant.
And the hipster.
Yeah. Nobody hates hipsters.
Why are we bringing it back to that? This is like the least pleasant callback ever.
Oh my god. That is the least pleasant callback ever. Okay, you brought it up, though. Yeah, seriously, I don't hate hipsters.
That time, I do. I unabashedly hate hipsters.
This is why we need abortion. This is why pro-choice side needs to win.
Yeah, I just put that on a poster. Hipsters, why we need abortion.
No, seriously, this is why we need abortion, and this is why we need to be able to use aborted fetuses for scientific research. Because otherwise, the only way to get this fetus for the scientific research would be black market, and you never know exactly how that's going down. Was this somebody who wanted to have their pregnancy terminated, or did this person get jumped in an alleyway and killed for the baby inside them because black market fetus is big on, like, the international market for pharmacology and medicine research?
Half the time you get a dog embryo, you know.
Yeah, seriously, I mean...
And sometimes it's just an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, on the other hand, with, like, the restrictions that exist at the moment, is there a black market for research embryos? Think about it.
Let's hope not. I mean...
With the restrictions in the state, I almost wonder if there actually is right now.
Yeah, but, I mean, what group would be able to, like, do that on the down low? Like, that's some shady shit.
Actually, it'd probably be abortion clinics who would, instead of disposing of the embryos and fetuses like they're supposed to, they'd actually be, like, packing them on ice and shipping them off to different research facilities on the down low, is how that would go down. I
guess. So if you're in one of these research facilities, leave a comment and tell us how you get your black market embryos.
Yeah, say it like that, they're gonna think we're cops. Damn it. Oh, way to look like a narc.
Oh, God.
This is the worst goddamn podcast ever. I almost don't want to put this up.
No, we counter. We're committed to it now.
What is wrong with us tonight? I was in a really good mood all day.
I blame you. Okay, I have actually one more story that could bring us down.
Okay. Buzzkill.
It's research involving a memristor. That's a resistor with a memory. So basically, the more current it gets, and the more frequently it gets current, the less resistance there is. So on a nanoscale, this would function like a synapse. So every impulse would make it stronger. So basically they're saying memrisors would be the basis for an artificial brain.
Q, you just seriously upped my chance of dying young due to an over build-up of optimism over time.
I know, I did do that.
You doomed me to an early grave from optimismitis.
Yeah, no, this is, like, seriously cool stuff. 'Cause, I mean, like, they always talk about running a simulation of a brain in a supercomputer, but with this, you can make sort of a mechanical, nanoscale version of a brain that replicates the same functionalities.
Yes. Yay.
One step closer to Asimov-esque robots.
And I can finally get my dream date with Data.
You do love Data, don't you?
I love me some Data. He is fully functional in all capable ways.
Indeed. Have I shown you that song? The Sexy Data Tango?
I have not seen the Sexy Data Tango. Why haven't I seen the Sexy Data Tango? Okay, this brings me back to Pessimism. I thought you were my friend, Q.
Well, I assumed you would have seen it. I mean, you're more into music than I am.
Yeah, thanks for saving my life, asshole.
Now you're pessimistic. You're welcome.
Alright. Send me the link after we're done destroying our reputations.
Pretty much. Actually, I think that's it for this week.
You want to just end it there, just have it be like the shortest podcast we've ever done?
If you enjoyed the podcast, leave comments on iTunes and YouTube. Subscribe for some reason.
And if anybody wants to help me remake the movie Juno,
oh, God.
get in touch with us.
Bye.